month, we're going to be talking about Google Slides. Google Slides is Google's version of presentation software, very similar to Microsoft PowerPoint. So first, we're going to talk about meeting me. Hopefully, you've watched some of my other videos, but I will introduce myself. And then how to better present using Google Slides. And then we'll talk a little bit about a demo, which I'll show you after I go through the few slides that we have. If you haven't met me before, my name is Heather Summers. I'm a Google Workspace Specialist here at SADA. And what that means is I am a sales overlay for our team. And I help them with Google Workspace deals and explaining Google Workspace subjects to clients. I am certified in both Microsoft Office and Google Workspace. I want to talk a little bit about some of the features that are available in Google Slides. So one of the biggest ones is the voice typing, which we'll talk about. We're going to talk about different ways to present. So this is present mode that you see right now, where it fills the entire screen. And then we're going to talk about the presenter toolbar, which is brand new. It just came out this week. And we're going to talk about closed captioning and the presenter view. The presenter view allows you to also do a Q&A with your subjects who are watching your presentation, and then how to print and different ways to do that. I know we all like to be green. Google loves to be green too. So we can always print to a PDF and you can send a file to people. It doesn't have to be on paper. So let's talk about all of these different things. So first off, what I'm going to do is this is in presenter mode that I told you about. And what that means is it fills up the screen and I don't have any tabs. I've been doing a lot of presenting with my sales team, and I've noticed that we're all making sort of the same mistakes. And one mistake is that not being able to see the tabs. So how do I see the tabs when I'm in my presentation? If you come down here to the bottom left-hand corner, you'll see here that this is that new bar that I told you about. This is the presenter toolbar that they just allowed. And this allows you to go back and forth between the slides. But if you look at these three little dots, this gives you a menu. So the very first thing I want to show you is the speaker notes. This is if we had voice typed or had some notes in there. You can click on this button and it opens up a new tab with our notes. So this is my speaker notes, and I can't edit or do anything inside of here. I have to be in the presentation to do the speaker notes. So I'll show you that too. But this just allows you to look at them and see them. Now the next thing here, if we click on the three little dots, is your laser pointer. So I could have a laser pointer and point things out to you, like this little thing down here. And you can turn this on and off through this menu. The next thing is entering the full screen mode. So this is the way that it looked like before, where you saw the entire screen taken up by your presentation. And this is where you can see the tabs. So you can exit the full screen mode and use the non-full screen mode here. So here's the full screen mode and here's the exit full screen mode. And it gives you those tabs at the top. This is super helpful if you have things outside your presentation you want to show people. Maybe a spreadsheet, maybe you're referring to email or the drive or showing them another piece of software. You can stop presenting by pressing escape or this X. And then we have an autoplay option where if you're at a kiosk or anything else, you can go through the slides automatically. And then my favorite new thing that showed up is captioning. Now we just had this roll out in Google Meet. It was available in multiple languages. And this one you'll notice just says English. So if we come over here, you'll see in the captioning here, hello, it only says English, right? So if we go ahead and we can put the text on the bottom or the top if we want to. So we're going to allow the microphone to be used. And now you see the captioning has started. Now that microphone was right up here in our URL, and see the lock, that's where I allowed it. Okay, so the next thing I want to show you is in the presenter toolbar. So we saw the captioning is the more. So this is the Q&A I told you about. You can download this as a PDF if you'd like to. Download it as PowerPoint. You can print it. You can do those keyboard shortcuts, which I'll show you, or you can report abuse or copyright information. So here to do the keyboard shortcuts, we're going to go ahead and do the mine's command or that little button with the /, or you can click on it. This is a keyboard shortcut. So if you don't want to use your mouse, for instance, to go through the different slides, you can use these shortcut keys to go through the slides. And notice you can toggle the captions on with the letter C, and that will turn them on or off. So here I can turn them off by coming over here, going to captioning, and then turning them off there. Or I can press the letter C, you saw there. And so Command-Shift-C, and I can turn off those captioning too. So just FYI for you, those are a couple different options for you to turn those captions on and off to go through the different options. Now that you can print now right through this new toolbar you saw where I can print, download as a PDF. Those are all options for you here. And I'm going to show you the other way to print also. And then reporting abuse and copyright is their way to keep people from plagiarism, so just FYI. And then the Q&A here. So our presenter view here has what's called audience tools. You can go ahead and start your Q&A right here. And here I can go ahead and turn this on or off to accept questions. Now, when you turn it on, you'll see up at the top of your presentation, there'll now be a link that people can click on to go ask a question. So if I click on this link, you'll see here what are different ways to present. And you can ask anonymously or you can use your name. Once you submit it, the presenter now sees your question in their window. So this is what the audience sees when they click on that link here, or if you verbally give it to them. And this is what the audience sees. They go ahead and ask the question. Then people in the audience can vote up or down on that question. So I can vote up on the question. Notice I only have one vote for myself. Other people would have to vote in order that to go up or down. And then here in my present, I can go ahead as the presenter and present that question in my presentation. So here I see who asked it. This is still my presentation. So if I go to the next slide, you see it's the same exact slides we had before, but I said present. And it allowed me to show the audience what the question was. And what's nice about this too is you can go ahead and have this in a different window. I can pull it off, put it in a different screen. So I have multiple screens in my office, and I can put this on a different screen as I'm presenting. I also can see in here, if you didn't notice my speaker notes, there wasn't any notes on that one, but there's notes on this one that I can look at too. Okay, so we've seen the new presenter bar, we've seen the closed captioning, and we saw the different ways to present where you can see the tabs. Let's talk a little bit about the voice typing and the printing. So I'm going to go ahead and escape completely out. And if I click down here, this is where my speaker notes would be housed. Is down here underneath the slide. Now, this is movable, so I can make it bigger or smaller. But when I come in here, I can go ahead and go to Tools and notice the voice type speaker notes. One of the other things that they've added recently is the Q&A history. So if I want to see who asked a question, what did it look like, I can always go back in here to the Q&A history and see what questions have been asked. And that was under Tools. But I'm going to go to the Voice Type Speaker Notes. Voice Type Speaker Notes. I'm going to enable this microphone here, and I'll move it so you can see it a little better. And here in my microphone, and let me close it for a second. I want to show you right here. It's also available in those 150 languages. So I'm going to be doing a session later on this in the next few months about all of the different ways that you can translate and use language inside the products. So in this particular situation, you have access to 150 different languages. So if I were to speak one of these great languages, which I don't, I can speak a little Spanish, just a little bit. If I go to Spanish and I were to record this using the microphone using Spanish, so hola, ¿cómo está? You can see it automatically put in the accents for me. And if there was any tildes or anything else, it would put that in for me automatically. So FYI, that is another great feature of this microphone. I'm going to go ahead and put it back in English because I don't want to embarrass myself or others with my Spanish. But that is the only language I slightly know. I did go to a language school. I don't know if you're familiar with Beller High School in Houston, Texas, but it was a language school. And we got taught Latin and French and German and Spanish. As you saw, the only thing I remembered was my ¿Cómo está? Here we have the voice typing I told you about. And I can say period, new paragraph, how are you, ? And that is all available through that microphone. You can also use this microphone in Google Documents to record things. And then on your smartphones, if you use the microphone, you can actually write emails with it. So you can't do it in the desktop version with the microphone, but you can do it on a mobile device. So if you're curious about this, there's a little question mark here. This will show you all the different languages and the opportunities that you can have in all of the different commands that we go through. So new paragraph, question mark, period, and so forth. So that is available with that question mark. So that is the voice typing. Again, wonderful product that is built in here. We talked a little bit about the Q&A history, which I showed you under the tools so you could see what questions people have done. Printing. So if you go to File and Print, this prints the slides just the way that you see them. So if you wanted to print, let's say our speaker notes and other information, then we do it a little differently. So this is just showing exactly what you see on the screen. If I go to File and Print, and I told you I was going to show you a green version. So just like you saw in the toolbar, you can download as a PDF. But if you wanted to print to a printer, you can. So that is the options here in the destination. I don't have a printer set up here, so it's not even offering that option. Now, what's my other option if I wanted to print my notes that we just saw? So if we go to File and Print Settings and Preview, you can come in here and you can go ahead and download this as a PDF, include our script, hide the background. You can go here at one slide without notes, or you can do one slide with notes, and that would show you your notes along with the slide. So I didn't have any notes on the first or second slide, but here on the fourth was where I spoke a bunch, right? So there's my notes. I can come over here and do my favorite, which is the handout with 3 slides per page. And this will give you a piece of paper with lines for your audience to go ahead and type up notes while they're watching the presentation. So that is another option. I told you there were other ways to present. So the first way, and the most common way, quite honestly, is just to press the present button, and that takes up the entire screen like we talked about. If I press escape and look at the present button a little closer, notice the little down arrow on the right-hand side. If I come over here to the right-hand side and go to presenter view, I can go ahead and present this same presentation. This is my speaker notes. And I can, like I said before, I'm in full screen mode. So I can take this and put it in another window. So that was available to me by going over here on the right-hand side and going to presenter view. And normally the window looks like this. I was in full screen, so you saw the entire screen, but this is what it normally looks like. And again, I pull it into another window. I can then have access to my audience tools and my speaker notes. So hopefully that helps you present a little better. And as always, it was great to spend this time with you. Thank you very much.